I'm coming from a non-target school.
Coming from a non-target school.
Coming from a non-target school.
Coming from UCI, which is a non-target school.
Coming from a non-target, not a lot of experience,
Going to a non-target school.
A graduate student at a non-target school.
At a non-target school.
I'm currently a sophomore at a non-target liberal arts college without a finance major.
I'm currently a junior at a non-target school.
Especially as a non-target candidate.
Before joining SAM, I was basically everywhere, lost. Googling this, Googling that.
I just had no clue where to get started, how to best position myself.
I was struggling with not being able to have a clear path or framework of what to do.
I didn't really know what I was doing.
Really wanted to get into investment banking, but didn't really know how to go about it.
A lot of uncertainty and a lot of stress just regarding the process.
Honestly, across the entire board, I think I just lacked a game plan or a framework.
My resume definitely did a lot of work.
I had some trouble with my resume, just even getting an interview.
I thought my resume was one of the weaker ones out of the people I knew.
The first thing that I'd say I learned was how to organize my resume in a way that would get past the initial screening.
Starting from my resume, as soon as I got it back, I had over 50 to 60 edits that Sam made.
My resume right now looks nothing like it looked 6 months ago.
A lot of bankers have actually complimented me on how strong my resume is now.
I didn't know how to network at all.
I had no idea how to go about networking.
I had no idea what I was doing, what questions to ask, what to say, who to talk to, how to write the emails.
My university didn't provide the strongest alumni network.
I would only rely on info sessions to meet new people.
I was just using LinkedIn blindly.
I really didn't know how to do it or what to even say to these bankers.
I had no idea when I got on a call what to say to someone or what questions to ask.
I didn't really know how to go about the awkwardness of a networking call.
I didn't know how to get what I wanted out of the calls. I didn't know how to actually land a referral.
That's the worst part about networking, right? The amount of time and how tiring it gets.
I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see.
Never making a real genuine connection with them.
He gave me very detailed step-by-step instructions on how to network with people.
But Sam has gotten me a much better hit rate with the emails I send out.
Increase my hit rate and just have more meaningful conversations with more important people.
Actually getting a higher response rate and getting on phone calls.
I've talked to almost 100 bankers in the past 2 months.
Because of this, I was able to reach out to more than 100 bankers.
I've been having dozens of calls every week with the bankers.
I learned how to reach out, what to say in emails, how to speak on the phone, how to be memorable.
I learned how to get on a call with someone and ask the proper questions. You can't find the stuff that you get taught in this program in a book or a guide.
Everyone has been very impressed with the questions that Sam has taught us to ask, and the whole process has just become so much easier.
I've made a lot of good connections.
And I started landing referrals from the people that I was talking to.
I'm having calls every week, some referrals inside the company.
Now I've had my resume passed at a lot of different banks. A lot of people have been more than willing to help.
And I've gotten at least 20 people to promise to refer me for an interview.
One of the things I struggled most with before working with Wall Street Mastermind was definitely the technical portion of the interviews.
My technicals are absolute trash. I was just honestly memorizing these technicals as much as I can.
I have not really had any technical knowledge.
I really didn't know any accounting principles.
I said that I thought that my accounting skills were pretty good, and then I got asked a question that I just could not answer.
Coming from a non-finance background, I didn't really was exposed to those accounting and valuation methodologies. But
I had really little exposure to a lot of these concepts that are tested in these interviews.
So not only was I struggling with understanding the key concepts for the technical problems,
very hard to find information and learn all the technical finance concepts because information is not centralized.
For Wall Street Oasis, their Breaking into Investment Banking Guide, I think it was about $297, and what that basically had was it just had a list of technical questions that I basically had to memorize, and I just found out that it wasn't really effective.
I had access to the M&I 400 guide before joining Wall Street Mastermind, and I honestly didn't understand a single concept.
I've been looking at various guides online, like the Vault Guide, but I found that I wasn't learning.
Looking at the M&I guide, the Wall Street Oasis guides, the guides that everyone was really looking at, and I was just memorizing answers.
And of course I consulted with the 400 questions guide as well as Wall Street Oasis, but I really found myself memorizing answers and not really achieving that level of technical mastery needed to get an offer.
I read the Breaking into Wall Street guides, but those were very convoluted.
I used courses such as Invest Like the Street, and that was pretty much it. And I was struggling with a lot of things. I was struggling with behavioral answers, technical answers.
My older friends who had already gone through investment banking, recruiting, and like they would mock interview me and stuff like that. And it just didn't stick.
I've definitely learned more about the different technicals, whether it's DCFs, valuation, OBOs, that I would have learned by just looking at the M&I 400 guide.
You really are able to understand at a much deeper level than with just the study guides.
Wall Street Mastermind's content is just far clearer, more succinct, and more efficient.
You could have zero finance experience, and Sam's going to be able to help you nail interviews, nail the tough technical parts.
Sam basically taught me everything from the ground up. These concepts that I didn't know before, he would just break them down into smaller concepts that would be easier for me to understand and digest.
Sam's an absolute beast at teaching technicals.
I really didn't have that much experience with behavioral interviews.
My behavioral answers were honestly pretty terrible.
I was really clueless as to how to structure my behavioral responses, and I didn't know what recruiters are really looking to hear.
I think that it's with the behaviorals that it was to the point where it's just like I didn't even know what I was doing wrong in the first place.
I didn't know what sort of things investment bankers were looking for exactly in your behavioral answers.
Answers I had to those questions weren't really the answers that the interviewers were looking for.
He teaches you how to attack the behavioral questions in a strategic way.
He was able to help me fine-tune them in a way that shows me off in the best light possible for the interviewer.
My answers are much improved, and I get much better responses and rapport from the interviewers.
Having someone work in the investment banking industry actually look over your answers and edit them for you was extremely insightful.
So I know that the answers that I'm preparing are actually good and will actually sound good to the interviewers.
And I'm more confident going into interviews with my behavioral answers being perfected.
I really appreciate Sam, who's our instructor.
And he also provides attention, one-on-one attention with every student that's in a group.
You really get that that hands-on learning with Sam, that one-on-one time. He's a great teacher.
Sam's an amazing teacher.
And I think Sam does a really good job of actually helping you and supporting you rather than just giving you a bunch of things to study and then calling it that.
You have Sam's guidance, who's gone through the investment banking recruiting process, especially in the financial crisis.
Sam's always there to help you.
24/7, he's available, any questions you might have.
Sam was available around the clock to answer any questions.
He's very helpful, even after the original timeline of the program. You're still in, and he's super supportive.
I can still text him and still see a reply within a couple hours, which is insane.
And he's just a really warm-hearted and smart guy, and he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that you get the best outcome possible.
He shows a level of care and investment into his clients that you won't really find anywhere else.
He really does take his job very seriously, and he coaches you very, very well and very efficiently.
You really feel like Sam is there to coach you all along the way.
Having someone like Sam, who's truly an expert, on this recruiting process, as a resource, has been really great.
For the past 6 months, with Sam's help, I've made enormous strides.
I think that I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for Sam.
You have this tight wolf pack of motivated students who really help push you and motivate you to do your best.
If you're interviewing for firm XYZ and you're trying to find the best way to prepare for that interview, you can reach out to the wolf pack, and maybe somebody that's already done that interview could tell you exactly what you should expect for the interview.
And it's all the students, past successful ones and current students that are trying to break into investment banking all helping each other as a group.
I've landed a sophomore investment banking internship.
I secured an investment banking internship.
I was actually able to get an offer in just 2 interviews.
I've actually secured myself 2 internships.
I received 2 offers.
Sam's program definitely helped me in securing my 3rd co-op at a boutique bank.
I was able to secure myself a job for that summer.
And now this summer, I'll be working for SunTrust Robinson.
I was the one person selected for the internship out of over 200 candidates. So
honestly, very, very grateful. Ended up getting a M&A analyst role right out of school.
Well, I know my internship at the place I really loved. So thank you, Sam.
And I recommend Wall Street Mastermind.
Of course, I would definitely recommend Sam.
I definitely recommend Sam's program.
I'd recommend the program.
I'd recommend the program.
I'd recommend this program.
I would recommend anyone to do Wall Street Mastermind's program.
I recommend Wall Street Mastermind program.
I really recommend Wall Street Mastermind.
I definitely recommend Wall Street Mastermind.
And definitely join Wall Street Mastermind.
I would recommend it.
I would really recommend it.
You know, I would highly recommend it.
And I definitely recommend it.
And I definitely recommend.
I would definitely recommend it.
I would definitely recommend those programs.
I would 100% advocate for you to at least consider his program.
100% recommend Wall Street Mastermind.
Without Sam's help, I would not be here today.
Go with Sam. Go with Wall Street Mastermind. He's going to help you in ways that you can't even imagine. It's going to change your life.
Sam helped change my life for the better, and I'm incredibly grateful to him for that.
And I know that none of this would ever have been possible if I hadn't joined Wall Street Mastermind. So I'm really thankful to Sam.